And next in DD India News Hour, Snehalata Srivastava, former Secretary General of the Lok Sabha, joins us to talk with us more on the One Nation, One Election proposal for India. Welcome, ma'am. Namaskar. The Union government is keen to hold simultaneous Lok Sabha and state assembly elections, and the demand for its introduction has been steadily growing. Now, if you can explain to our viewers, what are the advantages of holding simultaneous polls in the country?
You see, at present, what happens that not only every 5 years, but every year there are elections in some states or the union territory, and that results into for compliance with the code of conduct, and that takes the toll in the sense there is a policy paralysis possibilities. And another thing is the political parties who are fighting the election, they are always in the election mode. And in the process, the focus for the work for which they have been in the power loses the sight sometimes or takes a back seat. So these are the things. Another very important thing which has been in favor of the proposal, that these polls at different times are expensive, and a lot of money is spent on the elections. So once it has been done simultaneously, the expenditure can also be brought to some limit. So these are the pros for the simultaneous election for Lok Sabha and state assemblies, and after that the local bodies.
And what about the poll machinery, including the electronic voting machines, the EVMs? Will the poll personnel and EVMs be able to cope with this polling process?
The present, at present, we have about more than 12 lakh booths in the country. So, if it is if there are simultaneous election, then the increase of number of booths will be required. Plus the personnel who are conducting, who are on the administrative side, and the police personnel, they would be required in more numbers. And that is the main thing which will not only at one go will a lot of personnel, police personnel especially, will be required. I will give you an example, like if at present whatever number of battalions are being used during the elections, if we do simultaneous election, about 3,500 battalions will be required. And it will take a long time. At present, the process is limited to some months, but then it will go for a longer period if there are simultaneous elections.
So why are the opposition parties opposing the One Nation, One Election system? What is your assessment?
You see, the thing is that once the parties are elected in any state assembly, this if that is aligned with the Lok Sabha election, by any chance, if the Lok Sabha for various reasons, if it is dissolved, then the Vidhan Sabha also has an issue. Similarly, the Vidhan Sabhas or state assemblies, if they are having they are not able to complete the full term. So initial there are hiccups, I suppose, because if the state assembly has recently been elected, the election has been done, and now because of the elections in 2029 of Lok Sabha, if that term gets a little, limits to the less than 5 years term, that may be their concern.
So,
And there are studies also where there is an advantage to the ruling party in the center. If there's a Lok Sabha election and the state assembly election together, the study reveals that most of the time it is the central government party in power will gets the advantage. Of course, our voter is very mature, and we should not underestimate them, and they will be able to choose on the state issues and central issues.
of course, when a voter is voting for a national election or an assembly election, yes, we have seen that they have a different voting pattern. But overall, do you see any significant disadvantages at all about holding simultaneous polls in the country?
If I can say that, once the elections are over and the party comes in power, if they know that there is no possibility of, the Lok Sabha getting dissolved, and they have to complete the term of 5 years, the public who has not many issues during these 5 years, they might get a lesser importance. That is the only thing I feel is in this whole scheme.
Okay, and are there any other countries which hold simultaneous elections, such as India, such as the one India is planning, and what has been their experience?
There are some very few countries where simultaneous elections are being held. Earlier in our country also, in 1952, that was the first election, and then 1957. So simultaneous elections had taken place, so there were not much of a problem. And later, when Article 356 was imposed in certain state, then it started, disintegrating, and kind of thing we see today in the results.
Okay, looking at all the politics that is happening about the introduction of the bill itself today, well, there were 2 rounds of voting before which it could actually be introduced, and now it will be sent, of course, to the JPC. So when is the earliest that India can expect simultaneous Lok Sabha and state assembly elections to be held in the country?
It depends that, when the JPC is able to give their report, and after that, because it is the constitutional amendments, it has to be passed by 2/3 majority in the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha and the state assemblies also. 2/3 states have to pass the bill. Then only it becomes a reality. So that takes a longer time than any other amendment in the act.
Yes, it's a huge debate what we are expecting. Yes, of course, it's a huge amendment as well, which will actually pave way for better governance. One hopes that it paves way for better governance in the country. Thank you very much, Snehlata Srivastava ji, for joining us on DD India News. Namaskar.